Welcome to the Dave Show. I'm Dave. Today I'm here to show you this LED street lamp. Yes, you can have your very own street lamp, or you could have the lamp outside in your yard. So if you have a dark area and you want to light up at night, if the kids want to play out in the backyard or by a pool or anything like that, this LED lamp is super bright. It's about 220 watts, I believe, is which this model is. And it not only has a nice bright white light, but it also has colored lights in it, and you can change the settings and all that. Well, the company did send me this product for review, and they wanted me to show you what comes in the package and how it works and how to put this thing together, because I'm going to have a little temporary mount outside. We're going to take a look at it once I'm done. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we get and how this thing works. Okay, here's everything that we get in the package. Now, this is the lamp part itself. I'm going to go into more details of that. You do get a mounting bar kind of thing. Now, this is made to mount directly to a house or mount to a piece of wood or something like that. It does have an attachment to it like this that you can mount onto a pole. So if you have a pole of some kind, you can mount that to this part of it there. So it's a couple different ways you can mount this, but you get a remote control. I'm going to show you a little bit more details of that, some warranty information, bolts. Now these big old bolts here are for the mounting bracket if you mount it onto a pole or something like that. And then they also give you this one fell out. They also give you these huge bolts that are designed for going into a wall, and they expand. So you drill a hole, you put this in there, you put the little nut on, tighten this down really good, and this part spreads out. So it's a nice, good, heavy-duty bolt. And they do give you a little wrench on here. You're probably going to want a bigger wrench than this. But they do give you one in case if you don't have one. It should be fairly simple to use, but I'd recommend using a bigger wrench. And some instructions, very interesting, or not interesting, very simple instructions, specifications on this. Let's see. Again, this is a 220 watt version from what I understand. Instructions on how to do this and put this together and all that. So let's take a closer look at the light itself. Okay, the light fixture itself, I'm going to give you an idea here. This is 27 inches or so to the pole mount part of it. 24 inches is the actual solar panel. Again, this is the solar panel side of it. So you can see those in there. And this has got a glass protective cover on it. So you want to make sure that's in the sun, collecting all that energy, because this has a rechargeable battery in it, which is nice. And let's look at the other side. Go the lights. There are a lot of tiny LED lights, and this little here is a sensor, on-off button, and you have a sensor on it. So now this does a couple things. This senses if it's night, so when the sun goes down, this can go on. Sun comes up, this turns off. Pretty simple. But also what's nice is it goes to a half power dim until somebody walks under it. So if somebody walks through or under this, it will power up to full strength. So a lot of adjustable features onto it. Okay, on the remote, you can see that there's a bunch of buttons here. This little button here is to test the colored LED light. So if you press it, you can see it just flashes for a second. That just gives you a test. Now there's the on-off button, which has to do with this main light itself. Full power, half power, and then you can adjust your strength plus and minus. They have an auto setting, so this is when you hit the auto, it does all that auto stuff that I was telling you about, like automatically will shut down when the light comes on, off, whatever, the photosensitive thing, as well as the motion sensor. And then you can also just set it to go on for, stay on for 3 hours or 5 hours or 8 hours. So if you want to set a timer, you can do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and it's going to be bright in the camera. I'm going to try to adjust for it, but it is super bright. If I hit the full power, you can see it goes on half power there, and then you can adjust it if you want to for any kind of stuff in between. But there you go. It's bright. Super, super bright. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Now, to the center button, the ECO button, that has to do with the LEDs. So if you turn this on, or the colored LED, sorry, I just hit the button once and you can see how it changes colors. It kind of goes through all the colors in the rainbow with the kind of quick kind of fade on there. If you hit it again, it's going to take one color at a time and slowly do the fade, where it was much quicker before, almost disco-like. But now it circulates through the colors. Now, I did check with the manufacturer of this, and you cannot stop it on a certain color. So now this just goes to that other setting. You get the two settings, a quick fade or a slow fade. I was talking to him about, can you change it? Like, I just want red, just straight red and nothing else, or just straight green, stick it right there on green. That's not available on this particular model, but they did like the idea. So there might be another model eventually someday, or maybe a software upgrade or something. I don't know if they can do that, but if you want some color rotate on your in your yard, in your garden, things like that, that's super cool. You have a bunch of people over, and now you can do both at the same time. So if you want the regular street light and get it a little dimmer so you can have more light, but you want a little accent color, you can do them both at the same time. Turn off the main one, you hit that button. To turn off the LEDs, you hit that little red test button and it turns it off. So that's how that works. It's a very simple, easy to use, super, super bright. This has got a plastic cover to it, and the solar panels have a glass. I believe the batteries and stuff are in here. There's some screws. If you have to get into it, they recommend do not get into it and mess with those kind of things. You really don't have to change the batteries or anything. And then over here on this side is the mounting part of it. So the pipe can go inside through here. You want to loosen these bolts up to mount it. Again, a variety of different ways to mount it. But that is the solar lamp. I'm going to take this outside and mount it in a temporary area just to kind of show you what it looks like mounted outside at night. So let's go do that next. Okay, I have the LED street light thing mounted on the back of my house. It's actually on a ladder right now until I figure out where I'm going to put it. But it's on a ladder and it's super high up, like 8+ feet. Out here in my patio, I'm going to turn this light off and we're going to turn that light on and see how bright it is. Okay, this is pretty dark out here at night. My screen might be really grainy because there's no light, but I'm going to go ahead and turn on the unit itself. I want to make sure it's on the brightest setting. So now let's look up here. You can see the light is up. It's super bright. And this is what the backyard looks like now that it's all lit up. That is the half power. I'm using the remote control. That's the half power button. That's the whole power on that. Now I'm going to turn that off and turn the LED lights on. There we go. So now we can see up here the lights are changing colors. If I hit it again, it goes to that other mode I was showing you. Let's look back down here at the backyard to give you an idea of what it looks like. Now you may see a little flickering here in my camera because the camera frame speed and the flickering of the lights, you can't see that with your naked eye. Only on camera it gets kind of funky like that. Here's the other version. So if you want kind of a cool party atmosphere out here, you can do that. You can also turn on the big lights at the same time. Let's turn that down. It adds a little bit, you can kind of see them both up there. It adds a little bit of tint to the light. So you still have the kind of the bright light, but you can see that the tint of the color is changing. Let's hit do it that way. So a little blue tint, switch into red. There you go. So that's kind of cool. It looks like it's going to light up everything pretty well. Again, you just have to find a place to mount it. So if you are looking for a good quality LED light with a little bit of color to it. This one may be the right one for you.